A world that clung to the law of a slain light, of a slain light. Light could be slain because light is not there at all. Why it is slain? Because that light has become darkness, has become night. Light is not there now. A world that clung to the law of a slain light is responding. A world that clung to the law of a slain light. A world that clung to the law and apist of a spirit, slain light, spondy. Cherish the portrait corpses of dead truths. What a terrible line is here. Terrible line. Cherish the portrait corpses of dead truths. Hail twisted form as things free, new and to hail. Pull. Beauty from ugliness and evil drank, feeling themselves guests at a banquet of the gods. Yeah, as if they are enjoying the feast in the halls of the gods, you see, and tasted corruption like a high-spiced food. And tasted corruption like a high-spiced food. This is the line which is describing the conditions of what we have, political conditions of what we have in India. Corruption like a high-spiced food. Very rampant corruption, you see. That's what we have got, you see. High spice. Indian spices are very strong, high spice, you see. And tasted corruption like a high spice food. So again, banquet, spice, they go to purveyor. He is supplying all. A darkness settled on the heavy air. Again, see, this is once more that atmospheric line. A darkness settled on the heavy air. A darkness settled on I am Pirik, on the hey, I am, we air, I am. So I got Pirik. A darkness settled on the heavy. This line is not so atmospheric as the other one. You see, you can see the difference. It hunted a bright smile from nature's lips. She will not allow nature to smile and slew the native confidence in her heart, her nature's heart, and put fear, crooked look into her eyes. Darkness, the lust that was the spirit's natural good. So that is the function. What does the lust do? It warps the good of the spirit. Replaced by manufactured virtue and vice, the frank, spontaneous impulse of the soul, afflicting nature with the dual's lie, good and bad, both lie. Their twin values wetted a forbidden zeal, made evil a relief from spurious good. The ego battened on righteousness and sin, and each became an instrument of hell. An instrument. Each became who? Evil, ego. They all became instruments of hell. So it is ego which will drive you, take you to hell. It is evil which will take you to hell. Vice which will take you to hell. It rejected heaps by a monotonous road. The old simple delights were left to lie on the wasteland of life's descent to night, of life's descent to life. Life has descended, and the wasteland which is there, on that all these goods are lying there. All glory of life dimmed, tarnished into a doubt. All glory of life. So whatever was there, it has become dim, very weak in light, tarnished into a doubt, it has become all doubt. All beauty ended in an aging phase. Old haggard, you see, hoary. All power was dubbed a tyranny cursed by God. So God is cursing. It looks like that. All powers were dubbed. It was dubbed, you see. He says, tyranny by cursed by God. You see, it is a dubbing. And truth, a fiction, needed by the mind. Yeah, you need this fiction, mind. The chase of joy was now a tired hunt. All knowledge was left questioning, ignorant. Yeah, this purveyor of death. Purveyor of death, it appears 22.19, of course 55.18, 107.20, and 141.2. 1, 2, 3, 4 times this word purveyor appears. 22.19, 55.18, 107.20, 141.2. Now this word and truth, a fiction needed by the mind. So truth is there, but mind considers it as a fiction. Mind needs it, truth, to make it a fiction. Now this word fiction appears number of times in Savitri. Fiction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. 46.25, 50.26, 52.10, 55.23, what we are here, 66.38, 78.18, 107.54, 140.123. So many times this word period. Now, although it is appearing so many times, you will see that at each place it has a different shade of meaning. It is not the same meaning at every place. The contextual framework gives a different shade to the words. And you have to see those nuances also, the contextual nuances of the word fiction. So it is not the flat same meaning, dictionary put here like that. You have to see the shades also. Why we are saying shades? Because behind these lines you see colors, you see nuances, you see echoes of sound. Those echoes are different. Their hue, their colors are different. Their fragrances are different. See, all these things are there behind sound, behind words, you see. And you have to see them in a different manner. So when you are reading poetry or a thing like that, see, you have to go behind and see all those colors and pictures and shades of sound and perfumes and taste. You should be able to taste those sounds up there, you see. Not only hear, but taste them also. Touch them, feel them, you see, that. Then you are really enjoying poetry, you see. Then you are really enjoying. Now, it was a fiction needed by the mind. Fiction needed by the mind. That is an exact description of the perversion that has taken place while considering Savitri as a fictional creation. Our great friend called Savitri is a fictional creation. Fictional creation. In the lives of Shivendu, Peter Hees says that Savitri is a fictional creation. Now that fiction, who is needing that fiction? Mind. So he has really revealed himself. Savitri is the great truth. Savitri is a great utterance, a great revelation. But then mind has made it a fiction. Mind has made it. He has kind of exposed himself by calling Savitri that he is looking at Savitri only from the point of mind, not anything beyond that, you see, completely. So, you have got a big commentary here already on that Lives of Shivendu, truth, a fiction needed by the mind. It is needed and it is there, whole book. Well, this is what the opening section of the canto gives you, 23 sentences. Now, we can perhaps move on a little to the next canto, the next section, section 56. It has 28 sentences, 117 lines, and 908 words. It's also a little, about the same length as what we have got here, roughly. Now, we'll continue, we'll start with that. As from a womb obscure, he saw emerge the body and visage of a dark unseen. From an obscure womb, that void, that womb, obscure womb, nation, that is the obscure womb. And he sees from that emerging what? A dark unseen. Hidden behind the fair outside of life. It is behind that thing, the dark unseen behind that thing. Now, that's the beauty of it. He sees the unseen. He saw a dark unseen. That cannot be seen, that he is able to see. That's the beauty of it, you see. That's the power. He saw emerge the body and visage. See, it has a physical form, shape, concreteness. It is not an abstraction. It is somebody sitting there, walking into your room. That kind of a thing, you see. Body and visage of a dark unseen, hidden behind the fair outside of life. Hidden, Rocky, behind, I am. The fair, I am. Outside. Well, I will call it Rocky, of life, I am. Not outside. Hidden behind the fair outside of life is dangerous commerce, is our suffering's call. Whose dangerous commerce? Of the dark unseen. Because of this dark unseen's work, business, commerce is our suffering's cause. Why we are suffering here? Because of this dark unseen, which is there behind life. Its dangerous commerce is our sufferings. Again, it's dangerous. Dangerous, calm. Second foot is animal. Third foot is spirit. Our self. I am. Arraying cause. Last foot is again anapest. Its dangerous commerce is our sufferings cause. Its breath is a subtle poison in men's heart. Its breath of that unseen, of the dark unseen's breath. You see, he is a figure. He is looking at you, he is breathing. His breath is a subtle poison in men's hearts. And all evil starts from that ambiguous phase. Ambiguous phase, that unseen, that arc unseen. From its phase, all evil starts. So it is the cause of evil, that ambiguous phase. Now, his breath is a subtle poison in men's heart. Men's heart, last foot is in spondy, you see. Now, of course, he has excluded women. Women also poison their hearts, you see. But his breath is a subtle poison in men's hearts. A peril haunted now the common air. So the consequence of it is a peril haunted now the common air. A peril haunted now the common air. Perfect iambic line, all 5 feet I am. a peril haunted now the common air. The world grew full of menacing energies. Now all these menacing, all these little elves and little creatures and who are Rakshasas, Pishachas, how they are coming. They are becoming, the world grew full of menacing energies. And wherever turned for help or hope, his eyes in field and house, in street and camp and man, he met the proud and stealthy come and go of armed, disquieting, bodied influences. He, of course, Ashapati is saying that thing, you see. The world grew full of energy, and wherever turned for help or hope or his eyes, he's looking here, he's looking there, but everywhere he sees that. In field and house, in street and camp and mart, in field and house, in street and camp and mart, all are I am. And see how emphatically the line is moving with that film. In field and house and street and camp and mart, absolutely monosyllabic line, very emphatic. He met the proud and stealthy come and go of armed, disquieting, bodied influences, their forms, their concrete shapes, influences.